What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So it is the beginning of the month, or very close to it. As we do every single month, we're going to talk about the pandemic EBT and SNAP benefits. I want to talk about these because there are some changes going on right now. I want to address what's going on there. We're also going to talk about some food shortages, what experts are saying, and also why farmers are issuing warnings to the American people. So that's what we're going to go over in today's video. If you have any questions whatsoever, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. Now, let's get started. First, here's a big thing for EBT or any of your EBT benefits, whether it's pandemic EBT, regular SNAP benefits. If you have an EBT card, Instacart is a platform where you can go on and you can buy groceries and somebody brings them to you. Well, Instacart now accepts EBT payments on groceries on all states except for Alaska. That's big news because now, even if you are stuck at home, you can't make it out to a store for whatever reason, you can use Instacart. This is actually going to reach about 30 million SNAP beneficiaries, and this can be used in 60 different retailers in more than 8,000 locations across the United States. So that's pretty big news there. Now, here's something I want to go over. And this is the 2022, these are the extensions through August of 2022. Let me show you this. Right here, these are the states that have been approved for August. Okay, this is that additional $95 per month, right? So here are the states. We have Alabama, Alaska, California, Colorado, Delaware, District of Columbia, Hawaii, Illinois, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Nevada, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Ohio, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, Texas, Utah, Virginia, Washington, West Virginia, and Wisconsin. Now, that's the list of the states that as of today, as of August 4th, those are the states that have already been approved for that additional $95 per month. Right? So that's good news there. Now, I do want to go over the states that have been approved for that $391. Okay? It's $391 that you're going to get for the summer. Okay? This is the summer pandemic EBT program. Here's the list. It includes Alabama, Arizona, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, District of Columbia, Hawaii, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Nevada, New Jersey, New Mexico, North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Puerto Rico, Rhode Island, South Carolina, Utah, Vermont, Virginia, Washington, West Virginia, and Wisconsin. Those are the states that have currently been approved for the $391. That's per person. Okay, that is per person. If you have somebody that's in school, okay, school-age children, and you qualify, you would get that $391 for every single child that you have that is in school. That's big, okay? So just keep that in mind. Now, one thing I can tell you is that a lot of people don't know if they were going to get this or not, and all of a sudden the money shows up on their account. So that's really good news there, all right? Now, one thing I can tell you when it comes to food and nutrition in general, we are seeing some shortages of food products. A lot of it has to do with the heat and the drought recently. Now, what I can tell you is the heat is causing a lot of farmers to not really produce as much of their crops. So when it comes to vegetables and fruits, that's kind of the issue, is farmers are having a tough time producing as much of their crops as they used to in past years. Not only that, but just until recently, fertilizer prices were going sky high. They're actually coming down now, which means it's less expensive to grow some of these different fruits and vegetables, which for farmers, that is very important. If it's so expensive, they can't make much money off it because they've already sold a lot of their crops at their set rates. Well, they're not going to go and invest more into their crops. So that's an issue there. With the drought, not having enough water, There are certain vegetables that consume more water than others. And for those, some farmers are not even going to grow those anymore because if they don't have the water, they cannot grow them, and they risk their money in the beginning from that initial investment. And that's not something that they want to do. The other thing I want to just address is the issues regarding shipping delays. We've seen this over and over again. And we're actually getting warnings from farmers saying that they're having a tough time getting their products to the grocery stores, and it's because of truckers. They're not blaming truckers at all. But what's happening is truckers have so much other things going on. There's been a lot of truckers that have just left the industry, just left the field to go find something different or more stable. Because of that, some of the people that were transporting these crops and this food, well, they left, and nobody's really came back into the industry to make up that kind of shortage of workers. So that's kind of one of the issues we're seeing there. Now, there's another issue that has to do with climate change. And I want to touch on this just briefly because we're getting some discussions on this once again. And that is that in the past, I know we talked about this about a year ago, but in President Biden's plan to address climate change, he talks about paying farmers to plant cover crops. Now, what's a cover crop? Well, a cover crop is simply just a crop that's going to cover the land, right? It's really not going to be harvested. But the point of this is to pretty much pull carbon dioxide out of the air, place it back into the soil so that eventually they can reuse that piece of land. The problem with this is, according to multiple officials, they say this plan to pay farmers to plant cover crops instead of their harvest, the problem is it would be very costly and it would be complicated to actually put together and administer. Now, with the price of food currently being just so high, so extravagantly high, farmers would actually make more money selling their crops at record prices than to do something like being paid from the federal government to plant cover crops, right? Again, the thing is, how do we pay for that? How do we pay the farmers? And then if we pay the farmers to plant cover crops, well, are we going to see less food? And food prices, are they going to go up? Well, probably. But right now, experts worry that there are going to be multiple changes, and farmers at this point aren't sure how much of a say they're going to even have when this does happen. So, just want to be very clear on something. The issues that we've been seeing over the past, handful of years, they're starting to accelerate. We are seeing some food shortages. We're seeing shortages in packing material, and that's causing an issue as well, because if the food product is made but it can't be packaged, well, it's pretty much just going to go to waste. So what we do know is there's some good news as far as SNAP benefits. One of the questions that I did receive the other day was, are we going to see an increase to SNAP benefits? Here's the thing. We may see an increase to SNAP benefits. However, I don't think we will. And let me just be very clear as to why. Right now, that the many states, and I don't remember how many states we have, so we can go and count them right now. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, another 8, and then 7, 7. So it's 16 plus 14, 30 states, I believe, right here that have acknowledged the extension of that $95 into August. Well, if we got 30 states out of the 50 that are already saying, yeah, we're going to continue to pay that $95 as a boost, that's the reason why I don't think the Biden administration is going to come out and say, we're going to increase SNAP benefits once again. We're going to increase another 15%. Now, it's helped. It's been a huge help over the past year for people that have received these EBT benefits. The problem is if food prices go down, and this is the hard part, is when government officials or Congress gives the American people some form of relief or benefit. That's a monthly benefit. For them to end a program would be devastating to those people, but it would also be a critical mistake for lawmakers, especially those that are running for re-election. Well, We got every single member of the House of Representatives that's up for re-election. I believe we got like 36 members of the Senate that are up for re-election. And in 2 years, we will have either a new president or President Biden will come in for a second term. So for Democrats to end something like this at this point would be a huge mistake. The blowback from Republicans would be huge. But also, I believe this is one of the reasons why they keep extending it, to at least get past the midterm elections. Once we get into December or maybe even January, I could see that this $95 extension or supplemental allotment, I could see this go away. So just keep that in mind. That's kind of what we're expecting at this point. Is we don't see SNAP benefits getting another increase, but we do see this supplemental allotment getting extended for a little bit longer. So that's what we know at this time. As always, as I know more, I promise I'll come back on and share all the latest news and updates. Again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.